Hey everybody, it's Nick. So, I'm not much of a cook, but I have recently made some ribs with the Ninja Foodi, and I thought they were spectacular. They were the best ribs I've ever had. So, I thought I'd do you guys a favor and share this simple recipe. It doesn't really require much. It really just requires a little bit of brown sugar, some black pepper and salt, some Dr. Pepper, and I would really only use Sweet Baby Ray's because it's the best barbecue sauce I've ever had. So, and this is just a standard baby back pork ribs, the Smithfield brand. But I guess that really doesn't matter. But yeah, I guess I'll show you how to make them. Alright, so the first thing that you're going to want to do with these ribs, you're going to want to cut the package open and you want to wash the ribs thoroughly. And just through the entire process, you're going to want to use a blade that has a serrated edge because you're going to use that to cut your ribs up later. But as you can see, they're kind of nasty coming out of there. And after you get done washing your ribs, you're going to want to pat them dry very well with a paper towel, because you do not want wet ribs, because your seasonings will not stick to them. And you can just sit those there until you dry them. Alright, so for a cut like this, you really just want to cut your ribs typically in 3 pieces. It's probably about a hand width apart. So like I said, you take your serrated knife and you'll find you can feel between the ribs there. Main reason why that you want to cut these is because of how they fit in the Ninja Foodi. And about right there. Alright. So like I said, you'll have 3 pieces. And next, you're going to want to season them. So I usually just I will put a little salt and pepper on them first. And whatever you do to the front, the meat side, you're going to want to do to the back. And like I said, you're going to use a little bit of just regular ground pepper. And part of the process is to make a little bit of a mess, so it doesn't really matter. You're going to have a mess either way, I think. So then you put some pepper on it. And I don't do this on frozen ribs. These are ribs that have been in the refrigerator for a day or two. So the next step is just to use your brown sugar and coat them. I will usually sprinkle it on top first. And then you just kind of give it a little bit of a massage. Really, the thing to keep in mind here is that you want to coat every surface of the ribs with all of your spices. And be pretty generous with it. I'll usually take the ends of the ribs and kind of soak up what's on your cutting board. First time I made ribs, I got the recipe off of YouTube, but I have since kind of made my own little recipe. It's nothing fancy, but they are very good. Alright, so this is what your ribs look like seasoned. Next up is put them in the Ninja Foodi. Alright, so I've got the Ninja Foodi all plugged in. So for those that are not familiar with the Ninja Foodi, it will do several things. It will you can pressure cook your food. It's got an air crisper, bake, roast, steam, slow cook, broil. It'll do a lot of things. I found it really handy to have. So for these ribs, the first thing that you want to do is you want to pressure cook them for a half an hour. So in order to do that, it has to have some liquid inside to build the pressure. So this is just a miniature can of the Dr. Pepper, but it doesn't matter if you use a full can or not. And this comes with a, a removable, I don't know what you want to call it, a bowl, and it comes with a basket that fits inside of that. But you just pour your liquid right down inside of it. And you want to fill that up about halfway with water. And you'll put that in with the Dr. Pepper. So after you do that, you can take each piece of your ribs and you'll want to set them meat side out and set them inside the bowl. Now the Ninja Foodi, you can actually buy an adapter for the ribs specifically, but if you're careful, you can do it this way. So you could just sit those three pieces in there and they will lean up against each other. And specifically for the pressure cooking part of it, it will come with a separate lid that just fits on top and it locks. So we'll turn our pressure cooker on. And so then you hit the pressure cook button. You'll pressure cook it on high for a half an hour. Alright, so for this part, you're going to want your cutting board, because I just let the pressure out of the cooker here. We could set that aside. So you'll want to get your tongs and get all of your ribs out. At this point, they're pretty well cooked and pretty tender, but you'll want to start adding barbecue sauce to them. So this is when the fun part happens. You want to add your barbecue sauce to your ribs. And I don't think there's any wrong or right way to do it. You just put it on there. You just want to make sure that you get plenty. And just like your spices, you want to make sure that you get both sides of your ribs covered. And for this, just in case you want to know, I'm using the Sweet Baby Ray's honey barbecue sauce. Everything looks kind of pale right now when it gets out of the pressure cooker, but when you start air frying them, that's when the real magic starts happening. And by the time you get done, if you're not careful, the bones will fall out of your ribs. But now we just need to add them into the air fryer. So just like you did before when you were pressure cooking, you just want to put the ribs in there the best you can. Sometimes it's better to get them in there and then try to adjust them afterwards because they'll slip and slide now that they're all sauced up. Hopefully I don't burn myself. Alright. So in the process of doing that, you might knock some of the sauce off your ribs. You just dab a little bit more on there. Alright. So then we just close our lid. We've taken the pressure cooking lid off. And this is the other, just a lid that comes on it. And then we'll just air crisp at 400 degrees for 15 minutes. And I think they are pretty much cooked to perfection and very, very tender. I could probably pull one of those bones out pretty easily. Yeah, so I mean, their pressure cooker did a really good job on them, and I think they look really good. But that's my recipe, and very, very easy. Takes very little effort. And I don't think you'll regret it if you try it. And I would also recommend the Ninja Foodi. It's fantastic. But yeah, if you try it, give me a little feedback and tell me what you think. Otherwise, enjoy.